Okay, so in the first module, in the morning class, we have just covered the description related to. There's a theoretical description related to your decision tree. So now onwards, we are going to actually see how we can implement it. So that we are going to see through the numerical example. So things will be more clear, means how this selection and how this quantification of each of the attribute is going to depend upon if you are working with the different you can say evaluation measure which we are going to use with respect to the attribute. Okay, now whenever we are going for the splitting, so our main objective is, in case of your decision tree, our main objective is to create a node who is more homogeneous in nature. So like possibly it's not going to be the pure one, but we are trying to make it as pure as possible. Like here in this case, you can say it, if my one of the node, like suppose it's your leaf node for example. So if my leaf node is having five number of the instances of your zero class and five number of the instances of your one class, so in that case you are not able to clearly differentiate that what should be the class label for this particular node. So whenever we are selecting any attribute, so this should not be the case. At least we should try it, that we should not reach to this case. Okay, in the another case, what we are having in class 0, we are having, means with respect to class 0 we are having the 9 number of the instances, and with respect to class 1 we are having one instance. So for this particular node I can clearly say that not that much clearly, but compared to this one I can say it as the class label is going to be 0, because majority of the instances is going to fall into the class 0. Okay, so this is our main objective which we are going to consider whenever we are going to whenever we are going to select any attribute for the division. So if this is the case, so it's going to be a non-homogeneous and it's going to be the case of a high degree of impurity. But here in this case, it's going to be a low impurity. So the attribute selection measure which we are going to cover basically based upon this impurity. So it's going to define how impure, if I'm selecting particular attribute, so with that attribute how impure or how pure node I am going to, how pure division I am going to get if I'm using any attribute. So that thing we are going to decide, that thing we are going to define in terms of information measure. So this is the complete formula how we are going to how many instances is having the positive class and how many of the instances is having the negative class. So that is going to be out of total, so that we can write it as this, we can write it as out of total how many is having, this is your total, out of total how many is having the positive, and in this case we are going to say that out of total, so this total how many is having the negative. So this thing we are having with this way we are calculating the entropy. Okay, so the lower the entropy is, the better node we have created. Like in the previous case you can see, like here in the previous case this is more impure division compared to this one. Like here in this case your division is quite skewed toward one class, so that's why it's going to be a more pure division, and this is your impure division. Okay, so this is the complete formula how we are going to define, how we are going in total, how we are going to calculate your gain. Okay, so in order to this A is basically representing your attribute. Okay, so now first what we are going to do is we are going to calculate your gain, and this gain should be the maximum one. Like if I want to select the which attribute I can select for the further division, so that is going to be based upon the maximum gain. And in order to calculate the gain, we are calculating the entropy with respect to your D and with respect to your D, considering one particular attribute. So this is for your whole data. So what is the entropy which is present in your data, and this is representing the entropy for your data with respect to your particular attribute. Now in order to calculate the entropy with respect to the particular attribute, this we can calculate here. So it's going to be minus here, that we will see. I will correct it. Okay, so how we are going to calculate it? So this, as I said, this is representing, this A is basically representing your attribute, and this D is basically representing your data, total data, or total data set, you can say. Okay, so this part is basically representing, out of this total instance, how many is having that particular attribute value. And out of that we are going to see, means like suppose I have selected one I okay, let me go, then things will be more clearly. Okay, like suppose here in this example, like suppose I have selected the attribute outlook. So for your outlook, first what I will do is, how many value, this different value we are having with respect to the outlook. So we are having sunny also, overcast also, we are having the rain also. So with respect to that we are going to calculate the entropy. Along with that we are also going to consider how many is, like suppose I am considering this sunny. So out of this total sunny, how many is having the positive class and how many is having the negative class. So this way we are going to calculate our this entropy for a particular attribute for a given data set. Okay, so as I said, when you are having the more pure division, so in that case your entropy is going to be minimum, and when it is your impure division, so in that case the entropy is going to be the highest one. So like suppose this is representing the probability of your positive class. So if the probability of your positive class is 100%, that means all of the instances are going to fall into this class only. So in that case your entropy is going to be 0 1. And if all of the instances is not going to fall into the positive, that means it is going to fall into the negative also. So in that case also entropy is going to be 0. But if the division is equal, like we have seen, for your C1 C naught class it was 0, and for your C1 class it is also sorry, for your C naught class it is your 5, and for your C1 class it is your 5. So that means you are having equal division. So if the probability is your 50%, so in that case your entropy will be the highest one. So it is going to be 1. But in either case, whether it's skewed towards your positive or it's skewing towards your negative, in both the cases entropy is going to be 0, because this is basically denoting the more pure node. So purity that we define in terms of entropy. Okay, now this concept also we have covered in the last class also. Like first we are selecting one attribute, based upon that attribute we are going to perform the division, and that we are going to repeat till the termination criteria, till we are not achieving the termination criteria. And that termination criteria you can decide by your own also. So it's going to depend means that is the user specific. That means you can decide at which point you want to stop. So here I have mentioned some of the things that straightly, if this is the condition, so that point you can stop. So the first condition is, if all of the point which is a part of a node is basically belonging to your one class, so at that point I can stop. So as you can see here in this case, all of the points are belonging to your no class only. Points in the sense matlab, number of the instances. So here in this case all of the instances are part of your one class, so I can stop here. Here in this case also it's so skewed, totally skewed, in that case also, that case, and in this case also. So now I can stop the splitting of these node, because as these all are your pure node, totally pure node. So if this is the case, I can stop it. Now in another case, This also you can use a straightforward way to stop your algorithm. Like in a particular path, if you have considered all of the attribute, so there is no attribute left, so I can stop at this point also. Like suppose here in this case we were having three attributes, so if we consider this credit, income and term, so although here we are not getting the pure division, but I have considered each of the attributes, so that means I no attribute is left to consider. So at this point I can stop the further division of this node, and if I'm stopping it, so that means I needed to assign the class label. So for this particular case, the class label is going to be 4, because 4 is means most of the instances out of 7, 4 is following to your safe class. So that's why this node will have a class label safe. Okay. So these two are a straightforward way to stop your algorithm. Other variation you can also try, but these are just the straightforward way to stop it. Now next we are going to cover how to calculate, means we are having these sets of the attributes, these sets of the instances, and you are also having the class. Now this is your training example, having the sets of the attribute, having the value with respect to each of the attribute, and you are also having the class label. So now we are going to prepare the model, and that model is going to be a decision tree. So in your decision tree I need to select the attribute. So for that selection we are going to see information gain. So based upon that information gain, I am going to select the attribute. Okay. So first what I will do is, we are having these two equations. So first one is this gain of your attribute that we are defining in terms of the attribute. Next we are going to calculate the entropy with respect to attribute value combination. So that we will see. Okay, so first I am going to calculate the entropy with respect to the data. So entropy with respect to data, that means how many instances you are having in total, how many instances you are having. Out of that total number of the instances, how many are part of your positive class and how many are a part of your negative class. So that we are going to see. Okay, so that you can easily calculate. So if we count this, so we are having in total we are having 14 instances. In total we are having 14 instances. Out of this 14, first we will count how many no is there and how many yes is there. So no is your 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 no is there. Okay, so this is your negative, just minus just to denote your negative or no class. Okay, so if 5 is your negative, so that means 9 is going to be your positive. So based upon these two things, I am going to calculate my entropy. So it's going to be minus 9 divided by 40 log base 2 9 divided by 14 minus 5 divided by 14 log base 2 5 divided by 14, and you will perform the calculation of all this number, or you will calculate it. So whatever value you are going to get, so that is going to define the entropy with respect to your training data set. Okay, so that we are going to see. So that I have written in the next also. Here you can see, like this way we have only calculated 9 was your positive one and 5 was your negative one. So this way we are calculating the entropy with respect to the given D. Okay. Now next we are going to calculate the entropy with respect to your attribute, and along with that we are also going to consider the what value you are having for that attribute. Okay. So let's see. Like suppose for example we have considered wind. Like we are having these four attribute: outlook, temperature, humidity and wind. Suppose for example I have first selected wind, and now I'm going to quantify how this wind is behaving. If I'm selecting this wind, so how it is going to behave, how pure or impure nodes it is going to create, so that we are going to quantify. Okay, so let's see. So in your wind, first we will check how many values, how many unique values are there for that particular attribute. So as you can see for your wind, how many unique values are there? You are having weak and you are having strong. So all of these are only weak and strong. So first I am going to count the value with respect to your this. So what it is? It is your weak. Weak is there and strong is there. Okay. Next, I'm going to count that in total how many weak is there, and in total how many strong is there. So if we count the number of weak, so it's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for your weak we are having 8 entries. Okay. And for your strong it's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 is strong entries are there. Okay, so with respect to weak we are having 8, and with respect to strong we are having 6 entries. Next what we are going to do is, next we are going to count out of this 8, because I need to calculate the entropy for your weak also and for your strong also, and next we are going to combine it, and that combined result we are going to subtract from your gain, which we have calculated for your training example. Hope this is clear. Okay, so next, out of 8 how many is no and how many is yes? Okay, so like let's see. For your week, just I'm using this w, and for you this we were having 6. Okay, so now I'm going to count positive and negative with respect to you week. Okay, negative. Next is your negative. Okay, only 2 is negative, so out of this 2 is your negative, so that means 6 is your positive one. Next, with respect to this strong, so if we see this is strong, so for your strong, 1 no, this second no, and this third no. So out of 6, as this 3 is your no, and that means 3 is your yes. So with these combination we are going to kept in my formula, and that is going to give my entropy with respect to this particular attribute. Okay, so what is our formula? So let's see. This is just the division which I have explained you. Like for your weak we are having these combination, for your strong we are having these combination. Next we are further dividing it, how many weak and how many strong we are having. Okay, so let's keep all these value here. So as I said, like in case of, in first what we are going to what we are going to count, how many positive and how many negatives present in my data. Okay, so that I have calculated here in terms of this entropy of S. So entropy of S we have already calculated this 0.940. Next what we are going to do is, next for this weak and strong, so first we will calculate with respect to weak, next we will calculate with respect to the strong. So this formula is going to be like, for your weak we are having 8 values. So out of 14, 8 is your weak, out of 14, 6 is your strong. Okay, so this part we are representing. Out of this 14, the particular value, that means weak is 8, and out of this 14 the strong is your 6. So we have covered this part. Next we are coming to this part, so that means we are going to perform the entropy calculation for this particular attribute value combination. So that means I'm going to write it here: entropy of your weak and entropy of your strong. So entropy of your weak, that means it's that we can write it as minus 6. Hope this minus 6 is clear, how we are getting this minus 6 log base 2 6 divided by 8 minus 2 8 log base 2 6 divided by 8. So this is with respect to your weak. So when you perform the calculation, so you will get the value nearly 0.811. This value you will get. Okay, next we will calculate the entropy with respect to strong. So for entropy with respect to strong, it's going to be, you are going to write this same thing. So it's going to be minus 3 divided by your 6, because it's total, log 3 divided by 6 minus 3 divided by 6 log 3 divided by 6. So for that, as it's your equal division, this part is giving you equal division. So here you will have the value 1. Whenever you are having the equal division, so you can write it as your 1. Okay. So now we have calculated we have not this one, we have calculated this part and we have calculated this part. So that we are going to keep all these value in this equation. So we will have this. So this we have calculated, this we have calculated. This is just the total number of the weak, total number of the strong. Out of total number of these instances, how many weak, how many strongs are there. So based upon that, I have calculated the value 0.048. So this is the gain with respect to your, when I'm considering the this attribute. Okay, the same condition we are going to do with your other attribute also, like for your humidity also we are going to calculate for other attribute, like for your temperature we are going to calculate, for your outlook also we are going to calculate. So next I'm going to cover this humidity. So rest you can easily calculate it. Okay, so okay, let's see here what is happening. So first, as I said, I need to calculate the for whole data set. So for whole data set, the whether you are considering the humidity or whether it's considering this wind part, or the weather, or whether you are considering this temperature or outlook, in all the cases, as this is your first level. So in all the cases, this part is going to be same. It's going to be 0.940. So this we do not need to calculate each time, just for the first time you are going to use it. Okay, now for your humidity, first we will check how many high is there. So first we will check how many high is there and how many normal is there. So high we can count it as, so high we can count it as, high we can count it from here. So for your high, how many values we are having? It's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 high are there. Okay, and rest are your normal, because we are having only two values. So that's why 7, if 7 is your high, so that means 7 is going to be your normal one. Now out of this 7 that I'm going to consider with respect to high, out of this 7, this high, how many is your yes and how many is your no? So if you count with respect to high, so no, 1, 2, and 3. 3 no is there, so that means 4 is going to be your positive, negative. So sorry, this 3 is your positive. Just a minute. No is 1, 2. Okay, it is 4. So that means 3 is your positive. So this 3 positive and 4 negative. So this is the case. Same we are going to do with your normal also. So for your normal, 1s, 2s, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 yes are there, so that means 1 is your negative. So this is the case. Okay. So based upon that, we will calculate the gain for each of the attribute. Okay. Now I'm going to summarize. Now based upon this same concept, we are going to calculate the gain for your outlook also, temperature also, humidity also, wind also. Wind we have already seen in detail how it's going to be calculated. Okay, so this is the case. Okay, so now from this you can clearly see that for your outlook the value is the maximum one. Okay, so we are going to select this outlook as my first node. That means this is going to be root node. So this is the case. And for your outlook, how many values are there? Sun is there, overcast is there, and rain is there. So this is the outcome. This is outcome. This is basically the attribute value for this particular attribute. Now, what next we are going to do is we are going to divide our given sets of the instances where the outlook is sunny. That is going to be a part of this side. Next, I'm going to divide the sets of the instances where the outlook is overcast, so that is going to be a part of this side. And next I'm going to divide these sets of the instances, that is going to be a part of your this side. Okay, so based upon this I'm going to divide it. Like suppose I have started with the 14, so 14 were all present here, but when I have selected one attribute, so now based upon that attribute value combination, this 14 is going to be divided in all these branches. Okay, so let's see how it is happening. So we were having 14 in total, 14 instances we were having. So as you can see, for four of the instances, these four, this is just after the division, so these four instances are going to be a part of your mid side. So this four, this three, this is just representing, you can say it as a id, or you can say it as a serial number. So the instance third, 7, 12 and 13 is going to be a part of this side, sorry, part of this side. Okay, now next I need to check whether I'm able to clearly say what should be the class label. So for that, I need to check the decision. So here decision is yes, yes, yes. For all four instances, the class label is yes. So that means I can clearly say this is going to be your my leaf node. Leaf node, that means I need to decide the class label, and the class label is your yes. So whenever your outlook is overcast, so all the time the class label is going to be yes. So that way we are going to use for the test instances. Now next one is your some of the instances. Now as these instances are part of this mid one, now these instances are part of your left side, and this is instances are part of your right hand side. So as you can see, out of this total, 2 is a positive, 3 is your negative, reverse is 3 is a positive and 2 is your negative one. So that means in both the cases I am not able to say clearly that this should be your yes class or this should be your no class. This is applicable for both of the cases. Okay, next what we are going to do is, next we are going to perform further division on one side. Means this side or this side, anyway you can, from anywhere you can start. Suppose I'm starting with this side. Okay, so when the outlook is sunny, okay, so now whatever combination, whatever attribute we are going to consider next, so that attribute we are going to consider in a combination, and combination is going to be when the outlook is sunny. So what is the gain which we are having with respect to temperature? When the outlook is sunny, what is the gain we are having with respect to humidity? What is the gain when the outlook is sunny and the attribute is this vent one? Okay, so that in that combination we are going to select. Okay, next important thing is, like in the previous one, we the gain which we will calculating for your data set, in that case we were considering total instances. So total instances were 14, so out of 14 we were counting positive, out of 14 we were counting the negative. So that's why the case was your 9 divided by 14 log base to 9 divided by 14, 5 divided by 14 log base to 5 divided by 14. But as we have divided our data set, so now at this side, this will only be considered as your whole data set, because you have divided it. So now based upon this selected instances, you need to make the further division. Okay, so now here it's going to be, instead of 14, it's going to be out of 5 how many is your positive, out of 5 how many is negative. So this gain will be calculated with respect to this one. So because this d is now your 5, not 15. Okay, so when you perform the calculation, so this, as I said, you are going to consider all the attribute all the combination with respect to outlook equals to sunny, because we are considering your left hand side left hand side what you say branch. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to explain one of them. So based upon that you are going to calculate it. So like suppose for your sunny, I'm going to write it here. Means, uh, okay, now first I'm going to write it with respect to this. Means what is the gain you will have when we are using this. So it's going to be 3 divided by 5 log base to 3 divided by 5 positive class, negative class 3 divided by 5 log base to 3 divided by 5. Sorry, this 2 divided by 5 plus 2 divided by 5. So for this you will have a value 0. 9704. This value you will have. Okay. Now this is your first part. First part in the sense, this part we have calculated. Now out of this part I am going to consider particular attribute for the given data. That means out of 5 I am going to apply some attribute, and for your attribute I am going to consider particular value. Okay, so that we have next. So next, suppose as I have calculated for your gain with respect to Sunny, we have calculated. Next, we are going to see that suppose if you are checking it for your temperature, for example, if I am checking it for your temperature. So for temperature, how many values, how many value combination we are having? First, we are having hot. Next, mild. Next, third one is your cool one. Okay, so I will count how many hot are there. So two hot are there. How many how many mild is there? One mild is there. And how many cool is there? So one cool is there. Okay. Sorry, mild is two and cool is this one. So based upon that, I can form this formula. So now, if I'm considering this entropy, I'm going to calculate, and this entropy first one is your hot given your sunny, entropy of your now this mile given your sunny, entropy of your cool, entropy of your cool. Sorry, it's not uh, visible clearly with respect to sun. So simply I'm going to write what is the combination. Okay. So for a hot, if I'm considering sunny outlook equals to sunny, and the class and the temperature is equals to hot. So for both the cases, the class is no. So that is zero positive is there and two negative is there. Okay. Now in case of your mild also, we are having one positive, one negative. So one positive is there and one negative is there. For this for this cool, as one instance is only one instance is there, so for your one is your positive and zero is your negative. So for all these we can clearly see, like for this one it's going to be just skewed division, so that's why it's going to be zero. In this case also it's your skewed zero division, so it's going to be zero. But for this case, as it's your 50-50, so whenever we are having 50-50 case, so in that case it is going to be 1. Okay, so this we have calculated. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to keep this value which we have received. So that we have received 0.97, 0.97 minus out of 5 how many were your hot, so it was your 2 into 0, this part, minus out of this 5, 2 is your mile, and the value what value we are getting, 1. Next we are having next we are having this out of 5 we are having only one cool, and the value is 0. So when you perform the calculation, so you will have the value for your temperature. Okay. So the same way we are going to calculate for all of the attributes. So for that, what value we are getting? We are getting this. So out of this, this humidity is having the highest value compared to this temperature and this. So next, what value I am going to consider? Okay, so this is the divisor when I'm going to consider this. Okay. So for your humidity, when the outlook is sunny, humidity and the humidity is high, so in that case, all the decision is the negative. And when outlook is equal to some sunny, humidity is normal, so in that case, the decision is your yes. So that means all the instances are following to your one class. So that means I can say clear division we are having. So this is a clear division. Now next same thing we are going to do with your rain also. So for your rain also, for if I'm going to consider on the rain side, so again I'm going to consider this temperature also, humidity also, wind also, all three attribute I'm going to consider. Suppose for example this wind is giving me the better gain, so that's why I have selected this wind as my next criteria. Okay, so this is the final tree for your given training data. Okay. Now next, this is the limitation related to your information gain. So the main problem with your information gain is this information gain is quite biased toward the attribute who is having the large number of the value. Like suppose for example, this customer is not considered as an attribute, but a customer id is not considered as an attribute, but if you calculate it, so for that customer id it is going to give the maximum value, because for with respect to roll number you can say, or with respect to particular id, you are clearly able to differentiate between the sets of the instances or sets of the customer. You can clearly differentiate it. Okay, so the problem with your information gain is this: if the attribute is having the large value, so that attribute it is going to prefer. But sometimes it is not going to give the best result. This problem we are having for your information gain. Okay. Now next we are going to cover the gain ratio. So basically this gain ratio is the modified form of your information gain, and this gain ratio is basically used in your C4.5 classifier. This ID3 is using your information gain, and this gain ratio is used by your C4.5 classifier. So let's see how it is working. So basic idea in your this gain ratio is, here we are going to normalize the value. Basically whatever gain you are going to get based upon the attribute value, we are going to normalize it. So that you can see here, we are same way, whatever thing we have seen till this point, the gain which we were calculating, the only thing is I am going to normalize this gain based upon the attribute and their value. Let's see how it is working. So this gain you can easily compute it. Now this is split information. So basically this information again for your given data set and attribute, I am going to check how many values we are having for that particular attribute. So based upon that we are going to perform this whole calculation. Okay. So now this info you can easily calculate it, just the entropy of your particular attribute. Like suppose here we have taken your outlook. So for your outlook, this is your entropy, and this is the uh, complete gain that we have calculated till this point. So whatever information gain we have, whatever concept we have used till this point in order to calculate the gain, the same thing, this is representing the same thing. Now this split information is known. So now in order to calculate the split information, first what I will do is I will calculate the how many values are there, and how, for each value how many instances is going to fall into that particular category. So if we check for your outlook, so if we check for your outlook, so so this sunny we are having how many times? Sunny is your one, two, three, four, five. Five sunny we are having, and this overcast is one, two, three, four overcast is there. Rain one, two, three, four, five rain is there. Okay. So here this 545 is representing the attribute value. Five we were having for overcast, four is in this combination we were only having the value. Okay. So now we are going to calculate this split information. So simply here I'm going to write the how it's going to look, and the calculation you can do it. So it's going to be minus 5 out of 14 log base 2 5 divided by 14 Next, minus 4 divided by 14 log base to 4 divided by 14. Next is your minus 5 divided by 14 log base to 5 divided by 14. So when you solve it, you will get this value. Okay. Now we are having the gain also, we are having the split information also. So next what we are going to do is we are going to divide this gain with your split information. So we will have this value. The same thing we are going to do with your temperature also, humidity also, and the wind also. So like suppose if we take the example of your suppose if we take the example for your temperature. So for your temperature also we were having three values. For a temperature also we were having temperature also we will having three value, hot, mild, and your cool. Three values are there. So again we are going to count it. The number of hot, the number of mild, and the number of cool. So based upon that, I will calculate this split information for the attribute for the temperature attribute. Suppose we are getting this 464. So again this is going to be the same. Minus 4 divided by 14 log base 2, 4 divided by 14. Next, minus 6 divided by 14 log base 2, 6 divided by 14, minus 4 divided by 14 log base 2, 4 divided by 14. So the same way we will calculate it. Okay. Now in all the cases we will select which is having the largest gain ratio. So for this case, the largest gain ratio we are getting for your output. That we are doing. Again your selection is going to be your output. Okay. Now next, as this is the first level of your selection. The same way as we have proceeded with your information gain, the same way we will consider the attribute along with their attribute value combination, and we are going to again repeat the process till we are not able to reach to somewhat. For different attribute, possibly for different performance measure, possibly you will have the different way, but in some cases you can have the same tree. Next, consider this Gini index. So basically, this Gini index, this is used in your CART, and this classifier is going to work for your classification problem also, and it is also going to work for your regression. That means discrete classification, even continuous value identification. In both the cases, this CART we can use it. Okay. Now here we are going to use this Gini index for in order to quantify the performance with respect to particularly selected attributes. So for that we are going to use the Gini index. The main thing in your Gini index is just going to divide your node into two parts. Okay, so the first, if it is having these two divisions, so if we try all possible values, so basically we will have this 2 to the power v possible subset. But in one subset you will have the power, and in the another subset you will have the empty sets. So these 2 points I can remove. So in total you will have total possible subset 2 to the power v minus 2. Now next, this is just representing how many combination you can have. If you are having v value, so how many combination you can have for the division. If it is your v values are there, so how many division you can have. Okay. Now how to calculate this Gini index? So in order to calculate the Gini index, we are using this formula. So this pi basically representing basically this is representing this pi basically representing your probability. So based upon that, first we will calculate the Gini of your D, that we are going to do for your division 1 also and division 2 also, and this is the total number of the instances. And out of this total number of the instances, how many is a part of your site 2 and how many is a part of your site 1. So let's see. And this is basically This way we are calculating the Gini with respect to the attribute. This is Gini with respect to the whole data set, and this division is going to give the this going to define the total impurity with respect to the selected attribute. Okay, so let's see how it is working. The same example we are going to take. So here in this case, we are simply going to count the attribute along with the value and how many is following into your yes class and no class. Okay. So first we are going to calculate the, first we are going to select Outlook as my attribute. Okay. So if I'm selecting Outlook as my attribute, so how many distant value we are having? We are having three distant values. Sunny we are having, overcast we are having, rain also we are having. Okay. So for your Sunny, two instances is your yes and three instances are your no. For a overcast, four instances is yes and zero no. Rain having three instances and two instances for your no. So in total, if you count it, so it's going to be your 14 only. Okay. So first we are going to calculate this part. So it's your 1 minus positive and negative. So that you can calculate it. Same we are going to do with your overcast. Same we are going to do with your rain. Next we are going to calculate the weighted summation of all these values. As you can see, next we are going to calculate the weighted summation of all these values. So just like here, out of 14, 5 was a part of this side. Out of 14, 4 was a part of this side. Out of 14, 5 was a part of this side. So that's the weighted combination of all these values. So what I'm getting? I'm getting 0.344. So this is for your first case. Next, we are going to consider the temperature. So for your temperature also, what I'm for temperature also, first we need to calculate how many yes is there, how many is no is there, so that we can easily count from your data set. So again, I'm going to calculate with respect to hot, cool, and mild. So for this, we are getting these 0.5, 0.375, and 0.445. Next, again the weighted summation of all these values. So this is just the weighted summation of all these values. So for that, I'm getting 0.439. Next, I'm going to calculate for humidity also, same way. And next, I'm going to calculate for this one also. So now we have calculated this value. So out of this value, as this is representing your this part. So as this part should be the, in order to get the maximum, this part should be the minimum one. Okay. So next we are going to select the minimum. In whole, we are going to decide which attribute is having the maximum Gini index, but as this one is the intermediate step, so we will select the, this is just this step. So we are going to select the minimum. As minimum it will be, we are going to get the maximum value. Okay. So that we have selected this point. Okay. Next we are going to next, as we have selected this Outlook as my first attribute value. So that so first attribute. So now based upon that, I will have the division. So this is the division it is representing. So this all are your divisions. So as you can see, this is all your yes. So I can say it is going to be yes. But for these two part, we are not able to decide. So as we are not able to decide, so that means I needed to go for the further division. So next I am going to repeat the same process for this sunny side also, and same process I am going to repeat for your rain also. So let's see first for your sunny. So if the so in sunny, how many instances we are having? In total, we are having 5 instances. Okay. So out of this 5 instances, next we are going to consider the combination with respect to your temperature. We will consider for your wind also. We will consider it for your temperature. First we will consider humidity, we will consider, and wind we will consider, and next we decide which of the combination is suited best with your Outlook sun. So that we are going to see. Okay. So this is your temperature. For your temperature, this value you are getting. For your humidity, this value I am getting. For your this wind also, I am getting this much of value. So you can easily see this humidity is quite pure one, so that means I can go with this humidity. Either you can perform this whole calculation, either you can perform the whole calculation, or based upon this minimum also you can select it, because this is good, this is basically the fixed one for all partition. Okay, so based upon this also you can select, either complete it or you can select it in between also. It's not going to affect your result. Okay, so next humidity we have selected at this side. Next is your rain. So for your means for your, not the rain, for this side also we are going to perform the same process. So for your outlook is equals to rain, so the same combination we are going to do with your temperature, also the same combination we are going to do with humidity and your wind also. So this is the case. This is for your temperature, this is for your humidity, and this is for your wind. Okay, now again we are getting this value, so wind is having the most means pure one. So based upon this I have divided it, so what I'm getting, this one. Okay, so in your previous case, like in your so in this data set. So as I said, for the same data set, you can have the same division also. For the same data set, you can have a different division. It's totally going to depend upon your data set. As you can see, as although we have used different measures, but for both of the for with both of the measures, we are getting the same result. So this could be, this also could be a case whenever we are working with your decision. Okay, so now, as we have worked with your two class classification problem, the same problem we can extend it for your multi class classification problem. Like we were considering only positive, negative class. So if it is a more class, so based upon that you are going your based upon that your instances is going to be distributed into your different classes. So the same concept you can easily easily extend to your multi-class classification problem. So like the same example which we have covered, like here it is a safe, risky, and dangerous. So this earlier we were having the 22 safe and 30 safe, I think 30 safe or 40 10 you were having the other class. So at that point we were having only two classes, but here we are having the three classes. So the concept which we have covered till for your two class classification problem, the same concept you can easily extend to your multi-class classification, whether it's your two or whether it's your three, four, or any number of the classes. You can easily extend to your easily extend to that defined number of the classes. Okay, these are the some of the characteristic of your decision tree. So this decision tree, if the size of your decision tree is quite a smaller one, so the interpretation is going to be quite easy, because if you are having two three labels, so you can easily interpret it. Okay, the main thing, if you see with respect to your decision tree, as you are moving down, so the number of the instances which you are using for the which you are using to make a decision, the number of the instances is also reducing label wise label. So this so at the end of your tree, you are having a very few number of the instances to decide. So this sometimes leads to a problem. This although the concept is the same, like we need to divide and divide until till we are not reaching to a stopping criteria. So when you are stopping it, so this thing we are having is, in order to decide, in order to say that whether the what should be the class level. So for that identification, we are only using the some sets of the instances only. Okay, and this is the quite not that much expensive. We just need to perform some calculation, and based upon that calculation only we are able to make our model. Okay, and here you can see it as a like based upon the, like we are not trying exhaustive combination, based upon the attribute based upon your selected attribute measures, like your information gain or Gini index or gain ratio. Based upon that only we are going to decide what should be the attribute at that particular. it's not that much complication to express. The next thing which is related to your decision tree is like in case of a decision tree, there could be some kind of the replication. Like you can see, this is also replicated one, and your left hand side, this is the same as this one. Okay, so this could also be the case whenever we are creating the decision tree. Okay. Now the next thing with respect to the decision tree is the only rule is we in one path you can't have same instances, the same attribute multiple times, but at two different sites you can have these same attribute. Like suppose here in this case this q is there, but here in this case also we have considered q, but I can't consider q or s in this particular path. So in if you consider one path, so in one path you can't have same attribute, but if the path are different you can have the you can consider same attribute like you were having in this case also. Now the next thing is in case of like whenever we are considering for your continuous value, so we are using one division, means we are using just a straight point, and based upon that straight point we are having the division of your instances. But if your data set is having some kind of interaction between your some kind of interaction is there in your data set, means in terms of the attribute, so this information is not we are able to consider clearly or able to incorporate clearly in case of decision. Okay, because here we are just considering the one attribute, based upon that attribute we are simply straightforward we are dividing it. But complexity which is actually present in your database in terms of the interaction, that information we are not incorporating, just single say single attribute based division we are using. So this problem we are having in case of a decision tree. Okay, so this is representing the same concept. Now next thing is related to your overfitting. So overfitting and underfitting, somewhat we have also covered in your linear classifier, linear regression model. So overfitting, when your model is too simple, it haven't learned anything, so in that case it is going to be underfit. That means it is not performing well on the training data, and it is also not performing well on the testing data. For both the data it is going to have very large error. But in case of overfitting, your model is quite complex or quite complicated one, so it is going to have very less error in case of a training, but testing error will be very high. So this is the case for your overfitting. Now if we define in terms of your decision tree, how we can define the complexity? If your decision tree is very deep, so so in that case, we can say it as a complicated one. Means we need to in order to classify or in order to formulate the rule, we have to deep dive in your decision tree. Like if it is a 100 or 200 label, so in that case, it is going to be we need to pass so many labels in order to reach to your final decision. But so this is representing your overfit case. Okay, and in case of if the decision tree is just one or two level, so it is representing your underfit case. That means the machine, the model has not learned much information from your data, just random representation is there. So this you can use it to define your overfitting and underfitting in case of your decision tree. So what could be the way to deal with? So in order to deal with your overfitting problem, I can stop early. Means instead of this could be one of the way. Instead of exploring it fully, stop quite earlier. Okay, and that stopping criteria first could be the like if all of the instances are like this is the straightforward stopping criteria. Like if all of the instances are going to fall into your one class, so in that case also we can stop. If all of the instances are following to your is having same attribute value, so in that case also we can stop it. And the next thing next one more thing we can do is grow it fully. That means go as much deep as possible and next perform the pruning. So this is also one of the ways, so that we will cover in the next slide. Now one more thing is there could be a threshold based stopping criteria also. Like suppose if one instance like this I can decide if one site or if at one node if you are having in total 10 number of the instances, like this is I have selected as my stopping criteria. If one node is having 10 number of the instances, then we are going to stop. We are not going to perform the further revision. So this also could be a stopping criteria. As I was talking about the fully explore your tree and then perform the pruning. So this is known as your post pruning. This is your early stopping. Instead of fully growing your tree, I'm going to stop in between. And in case of post pruning, we are going to grow our tree fully, as much as deep it can go. So we are going to explore it fully, and then we are going to perform the pruning. Pruning, that means basically we are going to remove its branches or its nodes. So this comes under the post pruning. Okay. There are two ways to do it to do this task: subtree raising and subtree replacement. Okay. In case of your subtree raising, we are going to replace a node with one of the branch. And in case of the subtree replacement, we are going to replace the subtree with its leaf node. So that possibly it's not visible, just to cover the just explaining the concept, then it will be clear. Like suppose here what we are having, this is your one node and these are the branches of the node. So in case of your subtree raising, you are going to take one of the branch and that you are going to place it up. So that means instead of using all these three, I'm going to place it up. So this is known as your subtree raising. And in case of your subtree replacement, like we were having this section of the nodes, this section of the branch, this section of the branch we are having. So I am going to replace this section of the branch with your with the class label. So this is known as your replacement. So majority we are having class 0. Majority we are having the class 0. So I am going to replace all these branches, all these nodes, and make it as your make it sorry, not this one. Make it as your make it as your class 0, because majority were having the class 0. So this is your subtree raising and this one is your subtree replacement. Summary or comparative analysis of your this information gain. So in case of your information gain, it is biased toward a multi-valued features. In case of a Gini index, this Gini index is quite difficult to apply when you are having the large number of the classes, and it is going to favor the result where equal partition we are having. And in case of a Gini gain ratio, it tends to prefer the unbalanced split. That means your splitting is moving toward your one class. Okay. So that's all about that's all from my side. So we are done with your decision tree. So for your decision tree, just the main concept is we are going to use different kind of the attribute means the different kind of attribute selection measure, and based upon that attribute selection measure, the tree which you are getting is going to be different. And each of the attribute selection measure is having its own advantage and disadvantage. So that's all from my side. Hope all the things are clear.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a very wonderful session. Definitely, our students has learned new things, yet many more to come on next session. Students, please come at tomorrow at 8:30. Sorry, 8:45 for next exciting session related to Python basics. Thank you all of you. Thank you, ma'am.